Okay, we're going to get started. Thank you all for joining us here for our regularly scheduled council meeting. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Present.
Councilman Clark.
Here.
Councilman Deutsch.
Present.
Councilwoman Fox.
Here.
Councilman Gale.
Here.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Present.
Councilman Sanchez.
Present.
Councilwoman Thames.
Present.
Councilwoman Winch. We have a quorum, Madam President.
Thank you. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you all for being here tonight. We have a personal privilege to start off our meeting this evening. So I think there is the administration to do the volunteer of the month? No? Okay. Well, with that said, I will just acknowledge that Ms. Temple Shannon, who's a long time Hartford resident in the blue neighborhood. She has been acknowledged as our volunteer of the month. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here this evening, but I wanted to acknowledge her and let everybody know that she has been a stellar community service agent in our community, and so we wanted to acknowledge her. Thank you. Next up, we will be acknowledging two awesome small business owners and phenomenal women in our community. If Rachel Caprillion can join me up here. She's from the McDonald's Corporation for the New England region. Can join me. Thank you, thank you. Yes, so we have two outstanding women. The McDonald's Corporation has acknowledged them during Women's History Month, and so we wanted to acknowledge them as well as phenomenal women within our community that have been on the front line as small business owners, but also employing many residents in our local community and providing pathways for them to access tuition free programs and scholarships to further their education. So they have a phenomenal program, and they have really worked hard, not only trying to employ our residents, but also ensure that they have sustainable, gainful employment. So we honor you and thank you for that. And also, Anika owns 50 Elm in Hartford, Connecticut as well. So we want to acknowledge you for that as well. So without further ado, I wanted to present you both with two citations. The first one to Ms. Anika Young. On behalf of the City of Hartford Court of Common Council, congratulations for being recognized by McDonald's Corporation on International Women's Day, March 8th, for your outstanding contributions and service to the City of Hartford. The Court of Common Council would like to thank you for your dedication, numerous contributions, and commitment to the greater Hartford community. Your extraordinary leadership will have a positive impact on many generations to come. Thank you. So now we have her mother. We have a mother-daughter trio, Ms. Judy Young. So on behalf of the City of Hartford Court of Common Council, congratulations for being recognized by McDonald's Corporation on International Women's Day, March 8th, 2019, for your exemplary contributions and service to the City of Hartford. As a former U.S. Marine Corps from 1974 to 1978, you have successfully established 6 McDonald's franchises, with 4 located within the City of Hartford with your daughter Anika Young since 1990. local hiring of 45 employees in each restaurant, and supporting your employees to participate in McDonald's Archways to Opportunity, a tuition assistance program for higher education, high school diploma programs, and English Under the Arches program that truly assists our community's well-being for families and our youth. The Court of Common Council would like to thank you for your numerous contributions and commitment to the greater Hartford community. Your extraordinary leadership will have a positive impact for many generations to come. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Would you all like to say a few words, or?
A little private Marine Corps joke there. I just would like to say my daughter and I have been doing business in Hartford for the last 20 years, and we're very proud to be business owners and own 4 McDonald's in the city of Hartford. I also want to thank the City Council who have done relative to businesses, consumers, and residences, and also additional thank you to all the women on the council in recognition of the International Women's Month. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anika? Anika, can we get a picture, please? Can we make sure we get a picture with the council? And again, we appreciate you. Okay, thank you again. I always enjoy starting our meetings off on a positive note. So again, thank you all for being here. So without further ado, I will hand it over to our Majority Leader to take us through the business agenda. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to put the following items on the consent calendar. That's item 2, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 32, 34, 42, 43, and 45.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. However, I would add item number 48. Thought that was going on the consent calendar as well.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. And item number 48.
Oh, and I gladly second that as well.
Okay, any discussion on the consent calendar? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Deutsch?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winch? Pass.
Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Through you, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to receive the following item. Item number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 30.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded on the received items. Any discussion on the received items? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Deutsch?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winch? Pass.
Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Through you, Madam President, I'd like to place the following items, or refer the following items, at which my colleague, Minority Leader Bermudez, will read a description on. That is item number 1 to the Public Works, Parks, and Environmental Committee. Item number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to the Legislative Affairs Committee. Item number 8 to the Planning, Economic Development, and Housing Committee. Item number 9 will go to the Planning, Economic Development, Housing Committee and to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The hearing date is Monday, April 15, 2019. Item number 11 to the Committee of the Whole. Item number 12 to the Planning, Economic Development, and Housing Committee and to the Planning and Zoning Committee also. A hearing date on that is Monday, April 15, 2019. And item number 44 to the Planning, Economic Development, and Housing Committee. Hearing date is Monday, April 15, 2019. Item number 47 to the Public Works, Park, Environmental Committee. And item number 48.
That's it.
Sure.
Because we
Oh,
consented
right,
for
I'm
it.
sorry. My apologies.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Minority Leader, you have the floor to read the descriptions.
Item number 1, resolution authorizing the city to accept donations from Bushnell Park Foundation in the form of improvements to Bushnell Park. Item number 3, resolution concerning the appointment of members to the Advisory Commission on Food Policy. Item number 4, resolution concerning the appointment of Victor Luna Jr. as member of the Civilian Police Review Board. Item number 5, resolution for the appointment of Adam Berkowitz to the Hartford Parking Authority. Item number 6, resolution concerning the appointment of Collins Billings to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. Item number 7, resolution for the appointment of Stephanie Harris and Barbara Ashby to the LGBTQ Commission. Item number 8, resolution to adopt the City of Hartford Bicycle Master Plan. Item number 9, resolution authorizing the city to obtain easements from St. Francis Hospital and Medical Center. Item number 11, resolution to adopt for the adoption of the City of Hartford Capital Gateway Transit-Oriented Development Concept Plan. Item number 12, resolution authorizing the execution of a lease agreement, including any easements that may be required between the City of Hartford and the Connecticut Performing Arts Partners. Item number 44, ordinance to repeal and replace Chapter 5, Section 5-33 and Chapter 2, Section 26-9 of the Hartford Municipal Code. Item number 47, resolution opposing any increase in truck size or weight on both the federal and state levels. And that's it.
Okay, any discussion on the referred items? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Deutsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames.
Yes.
Councilman Lynch. Pass.
Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Through you, Madam President, I'd like to postpone the following item until, I'd like to make a motion to postpone the following item until April 8, 2019. Item number 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion on the postponements? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Deutsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez. Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lynch. Items are postponed.
Okay.
You can just withdraw. Yes, item number 46 is being withdrawn by the maker.
Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
I'd like to acknowledge that item number 46 is withdrawn, and I'd like to make a motion for the following item to be on action, item number 33.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion on the action item? Councilwoman Fox.
Hi, y'all. Good evening, everyone. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that there was a very important community meeting that was held last week at the Center for Latino Progress. And while I was only there for maybe the first 3/4 of it, it seemed like it was a great opportunity for community members to just voice their concerns and really hear in depth about the project. And so I just wanted to highlight that if and when the city does enter this agreement, I do think it is important for us to keep in mind the concerns that were raised by community members, specifically regarding issues that are happening in and around Park Street, making sure that folks still have equitable access to public transportation, folks are still being seen for who they are and the issues that are arising, like drugs and everything on the street. And I do also want to make sure that when we do address those concerns, that the answer isn't only increasing police activity on the street, because I don't think that is the only solution to some of those issues. However, I do just wanted to highlight that those were concerns that were raised during the discussion. That's all.
Further comments? Councilman Deutsch? You passing? Okay. Further comments? Minority Leader.
Through you, Council President, I just want to echo the words of Councilwoman Fox. I think development is very important for the city of Hartford, and we recognize that we want to make sure that we're in a position where we can have a bigger tax base and we grow our tax base, but we also want to recognize the importance of what the residents who are currently there in that neighborhood, their requests as well, so that we don't have issues of whether it's gentrification or other scenarios where there's specific heavily policing in one area and not in another. And so these are all important considerations, along with the fact that the rent rates have also been expressed as something that's very important for the community in terms of how much people would actually be paying in terms of the rents, and for them to be affordable. Thanks.
Councilman Deutsch?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to support the concerns just raised by the two councilpersons, and note that there is a development agreement and a ground lease, and history shows that sometimes with a ground lease there is a little less control and enforcement, where the quality of the development and its conformity with the original terms may not turn out as we on council and the people in the city have wished. In other words, compliance and enforcement is very important, and the ground lease means hopefully that all the conditions will be complied with, which was not the case in the baseball stadium, which, as people know, there was a ground lease agreement, as far as I recall, and the administration wound up having to fire the developers because it did not conform with the initially projected cost and development and quality. So we have to hope in this situation that there is conformity with the terms of development and the ground lease. And for that reason, I think the comments were just made about community involvement, and to the extent that the community is concerned if things don't come to pass as everyone expected, the question I would raise is what the recourse is of people either in the NRZ or on city council or in the otherwise in the neighborhood. And we don't have, so far as I can tell, enough detail of the plans. I mean, we've seen drawings of what the buildings would look like, but doesn't seem that they're complete, even though there have been presentations. And I maintain those concerns in terms of city council having the financial details so that things don't fall to pieces within a year or two in case some of the financing doesn't come to pass. And when you read the economic news sometimes, including today, with the coming recession, I just raised the concern, and for that reason will most likely abstain, that we, or at least some of us, haven't been convinced that we have the control and the recourse, even though there is mention of the city remedies for developer default. That's nice to see. And we have stumbled at that point at certain points. So that means to say that I abstain because I wish we had a little more information about enforcement and the what-ifs that sometimes we have faced, as shown again by the empty downtown space that we now have and hopefully will fill soon. So thank you, Madam President.
Minority Leader?
Through you, Madam President. I personally feel that we have been given a lot of information. The point that I would like to, again, articulate or emphasize is that based on the information that we have been given, which again is a lot, that we do give considerations to what the sentiment that has been expressed by the community and that we do right by the community. Thank you.
Thank you, and just, is there any further comments? I don't think so, but just in closing, I agree wholeheartedly with the sentiments that my colleagues have expressed. I did have the opportunity to attend the public forum last week, so I want to publicly acknowledge the Center for Latino Progress for hosting that, because it was a wide range of stakeholders, residents, merchants, from all, not only the South Green neighborhood, which this development is going in, but the adjoining adjacent neighborhoods as well, Frog Hollow, Sheldon Oak, Sono, or what have you. So it was a very robust dialogue and discussion, and I think overall, people were very positive in the sense of the status quo and that vacant lot being there vacant for the past 2-3 decades was not an option. And so I think overwhelmingly people agreed and understood that development needed to occur because blight was not an option. And now we had an opportunity to really change that trajectory while being sensitive and mindful to ensure that we're not displacing local residents and that local residents are part of this and see themselves as a part of this. And I think that's something that as a council body we've all committed to with all of the development projects that we've passed and are in the pipeline. And on the agenda, I want to point to everybody's attention item number 45 because it was consented, but I will use the opportunity to refer to it. It's really around this whole notion of community benefits and what does that really mean. As we have more and more development projects happening in our city, we have various aspects and elements that deal with community benefits, from minority contractors participating in projects, local hiring, and what have you, but it's very disparate. A lot of it is outdated. Some of it is, was instituted 20 years old, so it's not necessarily updated and modern. So the resolution that I put forth was really about updating that and modernizing that. So as a city and as a council, from a policy perspective, we have a guiding principles and a guiding policy on what the standards and expectations are around community benefits. So any developer coming to the city, wanting to develop, there's a clear framework that the administration and the practitioners can use as part of negotiating, because currently we don't have that right now. We've been dealing with it on a case-by-case, ad hoc basis, and I think we've all experienced that level of frustration. So now it's a matter of, okay, how do we really put a policy and a framework in writing? And so a part of that process, we're gonna have a couple of community forums so we can share and inform the community on kind of what the current state is and how we handle it, and then getting community input on how we can do better and be better, if you will. And so more information on that to come, but I just wanted to put that out there because we heard some very real concerns from the community, and I want to acknowledge those because I totally understand and get it. But again, I think overwhelmingly people were positive and recognized that blight and the vacant lot was not an option. So with that, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Deutsch?
Abstain. I wonder if I could just
No, first of all.
reply with support
It's a
for
vote.
your mention of
Okay.
community benefits.
No,
Abstain.
Got
it's
it.
abstaining.
Councilwoman Fox?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lynch? Pass.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Through you, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Mr. Clerk?
Councilwoman Bermudez?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Deutsch?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lynch? Pass.
Thank you. Through you, Madam President, I make a motion that we come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez?
Yep.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Yes.
Here. Councilman Deutsch?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames?
Present.
Councilwoman Lynch? We have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Majority Leader.
I know, it felt like a vote, right?
Item number 10.
Yes. Present.
Through you, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to accept item number 10.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bermudez?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Proper yes.
Was that a yes? Yes. Thank you. Councilman Deutsch?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fox?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thames?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lynch? Pass.
Thank you. That concludes our council meeting for tonight. Thank you all for joining us here in the audience and for you all who are joining us and at home. Thank you. Good night.